Okay, so in the last video I was talking about healing the cord, healing that connection between you and your twin. I want to talk further on that about healing the infinity loop within you. You may find that your twin might have connected with someone who you think someone else is fine. But they might have connected with someone to hold the balance for you to drop into. Basically, if you've become like completely disintegrated and completely disconnected from self, you'll be like, oh wait, not only have your flames been disintegrated or your polar energies, but you might have been pushed completely out of self, out of base. So when you meet your twin, that might have that triggers a process of going back into self, and they cause you to start descending back into body, ascending, and like it's interesting because essentially it's ascension, but basically you're descending back into yourself or back to your source state, back into body, back into your integrated, aligned version of self. But technically it's called ascension. And you basically have to have something to catch you at the base. If you're going to descend back into self and you're not actually connected to either side of self, you're going to need something underneath you to catch you. And it's funny because I remember I'm not fully aware again of exactly what trauma we went through, but I do remember leaving part of myself on 5D, or leaving part of myself that he would be able to connect with where he was further down the track, and he left part of himself where I was that I would be able to connect with to help each other get back to ourselves. However, when you get back into that sort of base grounded state, you then want to be balancing your energies. So you want to be balancing your masculine and feminine polarities of your left and right brain hemisphere. Because as a twin, you basically have these, I guess you could say everyone has it, but twins are more aware of having this polarity existing within self. And it's interesting because since I got sort of grounded in base, or in that sort of like middle point between the two polarities, I've actually started to see either polarity on either side of me, which is really strange. It's interesting because it's kind of like a mirror effect on either side, but the mirror is slightly off at the moment. And yeah, it's like Zaz calls it, like the French singer. She's called her album recently Ephemeral, which I find quite interesting because that is essentially the experience that I'm living at the moment, where I basically see the same person on either side of me, but their ages or their heights or that are not quite in sync with each other. Like, they might basically look like the same woman. It's mostly with women that I'm seeing on either side, but they might basically look like the same woman, but there's maybe like a 10-year age gap, or one is like 6 foot and the other one's like 4 foot or something. It's quite interesting to observe and a little bit trippy to observe, but yeah, basically you need to align those two so that you can bring up the shorter energy and bring down the taller energy into balance, and like so that they end up being both the same age as each other, and you're like in the center between them, if that makes sense. And that's when you see that like mirror effect of the two flames or the two energies being the same age, that's when you have recreated that infinity loop within you, and that's your perfect perfect position or perfect place to be able to magnetize your twin to you, because you are fully grounded in yourself and you have the flames integrated so they can pull to you without you merging with each other. Because and a lot of people want this union to happen faster, but it's not until further down the track that you understand why it had to happen the way that it did, or in the speed that it did. Like, it's for your own protection essentially. If there was a way that they could be drawn to you faster, then like it would cause chaos within your body, or you would like literally physically merge with each other, which is not what you want. You want to be with this person, you don't want to be them. Do you know what I mean? You want to like be able to be separate physical bodies, but the same energy essentially. So you want to have that feeling of energetic union with yourself, but not actually be your twin. Does that make sense? You want to merge with your feminine aspects so that you can stay a woman, and they want to merge with their masculine aspects so that they can stay a man, and then you can both come together as a couple, as a divine couple, and have that divine marriage in the physical. So it's all about balancing your, once you can get into that sort of base place, or that sort of like balance between the two, you can then start to, almost like a seesaw, like balance the energies of the seesaw so that it can end up being aligned rather than sitting like this or like that. That makes sense? Cool. So I'll be back with some more wisdom soon. Thank you. Bye.